Hello and welcome to this video. In this video I want to talk about what advantages do you have if you use a helper, and the reasons. I give you some reasons why you should use my service if you contact me and get the information from me, because I could know some stories from people that for example are subscribed to my channel and watch my videos, and or some people that contacted me, asked me a lot of questions, and then they decided to choose another helper. So it's okay, I do not have a problem with this, but I just want to tell some stories that I got to know in the last time, and how they changed the helper, and what I could find out that happened to them. So some stories. So if you like to hear stories, just stay tuned until the end of the video. And if you did not subscribe to this channel, please subscribe. If you are interested in the country of Paraguay, where I lived the happiest life from 5 different countries. So 4 other countries where I lived was Romania, where I was born. I lived in Germany. I am a citizen of Germany. I lived in USA 4.5 years, and in Spain 20 years, 19 of those in Canary Islands. And from all these 5 countries, Paraguay is where I live the happiest life, and the same is with my wife. I talk a lot about Paraguay because this is where we live and where we have a happy life. And if you wish to know more about Paraguay, just subscribe to this channel and watch the videos that I will upload every month, new videos. I will talk about these stories. For example, I get new messages every day, and I answer them every day too, other than Saturdays. So Saturday is the holiday when I do not work and when I am disconnected from my work, because the 4th commandment of the 10 says that the 7th day of the week is the holiday that God made holy and never changed it. And this is why you will not get an answer on a Saturday. But all the other days you get the answers every day, so on the same day, I mean. And I'll let you know some cases that I could hear that they changed the helper. They asked me, or they are subscribed to my channel, whatever, and they know me, but they didn't choose my help. Just recently, last week, I met a family that came to Paraguay for the 2nd time, and they knew me from the videos, and somebody convinced them to do the service with some other person. So they found somebody else, and they didn't receive any documents. It's 1.5 years, and then they let me see the file number, and I looked into the information what you can get at the immigration office. There is a computer where you can write your file number, and then you can find out the status of the documents, if they are released or whatever, if they are issued, and so. And I could find out that they were picked up already for longer than a year, and they didn't get any documents. So they asked there, they said, we just changed the person. It's like a company, and that we just changed the person, or maybe longer. And I found out that the documents were picked up 1 year, a little more than 1 year ago, and they didn't get the resident card. So soon, in a couple of months, they can apply for the permanent residency, but they do not have the cedula, they do not have the resident card, and so they have to see how they get their documents. They were picked up by the immigration office, so it means they cannot pick them up anymore, because the person who had the power of attorney picked them up but did not give the documents to them. And now they understood that for the future they will do it with me, so because it's not normal. So if you are my client, it will never happen to you that I pick up your residence cards or so, and I do not tell you that you receive. I have it, and that I will give it to you whenever it's you come to pick it up, or sometimes I send them for those that want them sent. And another case was also a person that was convinced by a friend or neighbor or whatever to do it with somebody else, and he found out that they had only the fast version available. That's impossible. So you couldn't get a normal version, which takes now 3 months to get the resident card. So he had to pay more. And then it wasn't done in the fast version. So you can find those cases where the helper is not sincere. You know, I do not give any names. I do not know all of them, but you know, I find out from people that tell me this, or like in this case, they did not have the documents, and let me find out the status of the documents, and they were already released and picked up, and they do not have them yet. This person that had to pay more, only the fast version, and so told me that I will be in future for the permanent residency, the one that helps this person. So you need to be aware that there are enough people who are not sincere. How is it possible that only the fast version is available? This is an exception. You could get a fast version maybe, but the normal version is always available, and I cannot understand how they can handle it. So, and then another case, just this week, last week, I got a message. I made the application with you in March, and I want to know the address I have in my cedula. And I saw the name of the person. I saved the contacts. Every time I was contacted, I saved the name, and I saw that this person is in my contact list. So I gave a lot of information to this person that asked me how this and this and this, and then I told this person, I answered, "You are not my client. I'm sorry, I did not do it for you." So some of those people do not remember who was the helper, so he didn't answer again, because I asked him, how can you tell me that I did the service when I did not do it? I just gave you some information. So, and I also want to tell you what is it when you do it by yourself, because I found some information online that some people say, yeah, it's easy, you can do it by yourself, whatever, yeah. And it's not impossible. Yeah, it's true. You can do it by yourself. If you wish to take more time, which for you is time is not money, that's no problem at all. And especially if you do not speak Spanish, it's very difficult. Yeah, I found persons at Interpol, for example, translating with a phone and so, and it's not impossible, but you have to find out all the places where you have to go. And not only this, you have to get the translations done. And then what happens if immigration finds a problem? Because I have enough in last time, they find more problems. I mean, if it's a mistake or whatever, if they find a mistake in the translation or other things, and you could do the application. So they studied a lot more, all the documents after you applied than when you apply. So when you apply, they find a mistake, they can tell you, look, this is a mistake, we will not accept the application. But if they find it after that, they will put it on standby. In Spanish, it's called retenido. And most of the persons come here for a week or two, they apply, and then they go back and have this as a plan B, and they come, who knows when they come again, when they decide to move, but most of them, they do not decide to move. This is why the new law came in October 2022, because they found out, I mean, the government, the immigration, some people from there, so that most of the people, they just apply for the documents, but they do not live here. And if you are not here, you applied by yourself, and the case is on retenido, you need to resolve the problem, the issue they found. And if you are not here and you do not have somebody that takes care of your case, what do? You have to come to resolve this issue, and it takes then maybe another month until you can get the resident card or so. And yeah, I have a lot of clients where I have to resolve the issue. So I go look into the status of the resident card. If it's retenido, on standby, I have to find out what is it and resolve this issue. And this is another reason why you need a helper if you do not live here or if you do not speak the Spanish language. And then it's a lot of headache. If you get my service, we meet on a morning or on a midday or so. I first go to apply for the Interpol certificate because they do not issue on the spot. Like I get the second certificate, we have to get two police certificates from Paraguay in order to apply for the residency. So Interpol takes longer than the other national police. And normally I apply on one day for the Interpol to let them issue it, and on another day we do the application in the morning. That's why I recommend to come for 3 or 4 business days at least when you come to apply here. But you are with me like 2-3 hours at most. The entire time you need to be with me to do these things. Or in 2 different days, but first I apply for the Interpol certificate. They need to take your fingerprints, you need to sign it. And then we will meet again at the immigration office. When we go in the morning, in 1 hour we are done. So if you do it by yourself or do not know the language and even those that speak Spanish, some of them, they want my help because of that. They do not have the time to spend like 3 days to find where to go and so on. And then you need to see the advantages, not only the money you spend. So if for you time is not money, then do it by yourself. You will see how complicated it is. And for the immigration application is less complication than for the cedula. Even though the cedula costs a lot less, the application for the cedula costs almost nothing. The application for the resident card, it's 300 times more or more than 300 times more, just the fee for the application. To do it, to apply for the cedula, it's a lot more headache than to apply for the resident card. And then you have to find more places where you have to go in order to have everything ready to apply for the cedula. So for those that think that's easy, then they can try at least, and they can see how easy it is. It's not easy at all. Especially when I apply for the cedula, even though I did it more than a couple of 100 times, it's for me a little headache. I know everything what I have to do, but in order to put all the documents in order and have everything ready, and when I have the application for the cedula done, I breathe easier. Then do it by yourself and you will see how it is. But everyone is free to choose what they do, if they get a help from somebody or not, and from whom I understand this. Only that I saw a lot of people getting information from me and then they will not come again. So I do not have a problem with this. I am happy with my life and my customers are happy. Now I have customers that apply for the temporary residency with somebody else and they chose me now. So it's because they were not content, because I have also my clients that applied for the temporary residency that came again to me. I had some applications for the permanent residency already, and next week I will apply with somebody that was not my client for the temporary residency, but now is my client for the permanent residency. Now, maybe I will think about charging more often. I charged a deposit for those that maybe change the helper. Because it takes a lot of time for me to give them the information to answer all their questions, and then they go to apply with somebody else. And I also met a person, it was maybe 6 months ago or longer. He wanted to meet me and ask some questions, and from the questions I saw already that he wants to do it by himself. He didn't say this, but then I met him at the immigration office as the first person. He was there, I came as the second person inside, and I told him, you know, I saw that you asked so many questions because you wanted to do it by yourself. So I do not have a problem with this. I just wanted to tell my watchers that what problems they could face if they decide to do it by themselves, because I understand this, you know, you can think that you will save money, but you will not be able to save time, and you will have enough headache if you do not speak Spanish at all. And I also have, for example, I think now I'm 2 persons, Spanish citizens, that when we applied, it was a married couple. The man told me, no, it's the half of what I told him the price, and then he paid me the half. I just covered the immigration fee and a little bit of this. So, I mean, it was a little bit for my time, because I did the application for them. And then he said that he will not pay the amount I told him. And so then he paid me the half of it, made just the immigration application, and I told him, so the cedula was not included in this amount that he paid, and that was okay with him. Now they are away, they did not come back, and their resident cards are waiting for them, and who knows when they come in time to pick them up, because I do not have a power of attorney, and even if I would, if they did not pay me the entire amount, I would not continue to work. I mean, it's understandable, right? And yeah, so if you think that you can do it by yourself, you can do it. The same is with buying a property. For example, some of my clients asked me, yeah, somebody from from the persons we know wants to ask you where is good to buy a property. So how can I recommend locations when I know only my location where I live? And the thing is, you can get very easily scammed if you go do it by yourself, especially when you do not speak Spanish, but not only then. I have other stories to tell that I will not do it in this video, where I got scammed doing things on our property. Even though I speak perfectly Spanish, the people here try to get more money and do a bad job for jobs that I gave them to do on our property, and they lied about some things they bought, and they did not bring not bring me the bill, and they made a higher bill or whatever. There are a lot of things where you can get scammed. Or, for example, the gate, when I changed the gate, they ask you to pay something in advance, like a down payment, and they did not come at all. So I talked to them, but they did not come anymore. So you have to be very aware to not get scammed here in Paraguay. It's not only here, but here is also, there are enough people who want to work just a little bit or do a bad job and get more money than they deserve. And yeah, this is the problem you could have here when you live here in Paraguay. But if I put them all the things together, even though some people scammed me, for example, with a deep well, we ordered a deep well, and they said that they did 90 meters, and I found out later that they did only 53 meters, and then they charged for 90 meters. So I never go to a judge or to court to revenge, because I trust God that God says in the Bible, I will revenge. And so I had different cases where I was betrayed, paying more money than I should have to. And if I speak Spanish and I still receive those betrayals, why would you try to do it by yourself if you do not speak Spanish? They will betray you for sure, 100%. I mean, it's very seldom that people are sincere and they do not charge more than they should. And I try to have the fairest prices I can for my services. Also, when you buy a property, and this is one of the reasons why you should think about it to get my service. You can be sure that I will not lie to you, and that you have a sincere person, that you pay for the services, and then you will be sure to get all the documents, not like the other ones. They wait for longer than a year and did not know that the documents were issued already. So they got the information now through me that their resident cards are issued for longer than a year, were picked up for longer than a year. Maybe they were issued maybe 1 month before, or who knows when they were issued, because it was from August to January. They picked them up in 4 months or 5 months or so. Usually they are issued in 3 months, the resident cards. It's around 3 months. It could be a little bit less or a little more, but around 3 months, it's when they do, if everything goes okay. If they find something to put them on standby, then it's not 3 months, it's longer. So if you have questions, you can write them in the comments. You can contact me through WhatsApp, Telegram, and Signal, and I answer on the same day other than Saturday. And let me know when you need my help. So I am very content here, I am very happy here, and I want to help many other people to get a great service, to be content with the service they get, and to live a happier life. Thanks for watching the video. I wish anyone a better life.